The US dollar. It's the most powerful currency in the world. Or at least, it has been for the last century. But today, headlines warn that the dollar might be in trouble. Countries are making deals to trade without it. Inflation has chipped away at its value, and some say America's dominance could be slipping. So, is the dollar really losing its power, or is it still unshakable? In this video, we'll break it down clearly, simply, and without the jargon so you can understand what's really happening with your money. Fast forward to today, roughly 60% of the world's foreign exchange reserves are held in dollars. More than 80% of global trade uses the dollar in some way. And when people lose trust in their local money, what do they buy? US dollars. Think of it like this. If the global economy were a stormy ocean, the dollar is the lifeboat. That's why, in times of crisis like the 2008 financial crash, or even the 2020 pandemic, investors rush to buy dollars. So, on the surface, the dollar still looks invincible. But under the surface, things are changing. Let's talk about the cracks forming in the dollar's foundation. First, inflation. In the last few years, especially after massive government spending during the pandemic, inflation has weakened the dollar's purchasing power. What you could buy for $1 10 years ago costs nearly $1.30 today. Second, debt. The US national debt is now over $34 trillion. Every year, the government spends more than it earns, borrowing money to cover the gap. The more debt piles up, the more some countries worry, will the dollar always be reliable? Third, global rivals. Nations like China, Russia, and members of BRICS are pushing to use their own currencies in trade. China has been signing agreements to trade oil and goods in yuan. Russia and Iran have done the same. Their message is clear. They don't want to depend on the dollar forever. Fourth, technology. With digital currencies and even the possibility of a US digital dollar, the financial landscape is shifting. Will new systems make the dollar stronger or replace it? So who could actually challenge the dollar? The euro is strong, but Europe's fragmented politics hold it back. The Chinese yuan is growing in trade use, but strict government controls make other countries nervous. Gold is a safe haven, but it's not practical for everyday trade. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are popular, but too volatile to be a stable replacement. The truth is, for now, there's no perfect alternative. The dollar still wins because it's backed by deep financial markets, trust in United States institutions, and the fact that almost everyone already uses it. What does all this mean for you personally? If you live in the US, a weaker dollar makes imports like electronics, cars, or clothes more expensive. Inflation also eats away at your savings. If you live outside the US, your currency is often tied to the dollar. So when the dollar moves, your economy feels it too. That's why people around the world pay attention to United States interest rates and Federal Reserve decisions. In other words, even if you never touch a dollar bill, the dollar still touches your life. So, is the dollar doomed? Not yet. The dollar may face challenges, but history shows us something important. Trust takes decades to build, and it doesn't disappear overnight. For now, the dollar remains the world's financial anchor, but the world is changing, and the dollar's future will depend on whether America can maintain trust, manage its debt, and adapt to new technology. One thing is certain, the story of the dollar is far from being over. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so more people can see it. And don't forget to subscribe as we've got more deep dives into money, markets, and the forces shaping your financial future.